we've gone through the pregnancy journey and we have our bundle of joy, it's time to whip up that body into shape the healthy way. You know that generally during the pregnancy, you gain some weight due to the baby, the placenta, the general fluid retention and all that. But after delivery, you need to shed off some of the weight, and there are ways of doing this in a healthy way. Join me today as I talk to our guest speaker, our dietitian by profession, Sophia Ametefe. There's something we call BMI.
Okay.
It means body mass index. Can you explain that for us?
So body mass index is simply looking at a relationship between a mother's weight and her height. So what we do is to measure the mother's weight in kilogram. And then we take the mother's height also in meters. And we square it. So what we do is that the weight divided by the height square would give you a figure. Now, depending on the figure, it will determine what your BMI or what your body mass index is. So if someone has a BMI less than 18.5, it means the woman is underweight. If it's between 18.5 to 24.9, it means that you are in the normal body mass index. Now, from 25 to 29.9, the mother is overweight. And 30 and above is obese. But these things can only be calculated when the mother is prior to pregnancy, and then the initial 12 weeks of pregnancy. Beyond that, we can't apply BMI any longer.
With the weight loss, can you give us some of the recommended foods that we can eat? Let's say in the immediate post-delivery period, and then after our 8 weeks, what are we supposed to do so that we can continue with the weight loss?
So a healthy balanced diet is all that is required. And a healthy balanced diet simply means that you are having the various food groups in the right proportions. So for instance, carbohydrates. And carbohydrates examples can be our corn products, our rice products, our yams, our plantains. And then our proteins, where we have the plant proteins, things like nuts and beans and soya. We can also have animal-based proteins, such as milk, such as meat, fish, and chicken. So for something like chicken, what we are encouraging is for you to go in for the one without the skin. When the skin is on it, it contributes to giving you more calories because of the fat that is concentrated there. If it's meat you want to go in for lean meat, meaning that you trim off as much visible fat that you can see. So in the raw state, you are going to trim it off, not at the point where you're about to eat.
I understand it now.
And then with even the milk, it's better to go in for low fat options, because as we grow older, the body requires less fat. So that is not the time to be going for full cream milk or milks that have a higher fat content. Another food group we have is fruits and vegetables. Usually we put them under the carbohydrates. So from our oranges, our bananas, watermelons, pawpaw. When it comes to the vegetables, people are often thinking exotic. I'm not against it, but remember that our okra, our kontomire, our deme, our lefu, boko boko, all these things are garden eggs. They are vegetables. Then we can also have the exotic ones, the cabbage, the cucumber, the lettuce, among others. And then the final group is the fats and oils. These are also very essential to the body, but they are required in smaller
Very small amounts.
So when we are preparing our stews, let's look at the oils we use. Let's use just a bit of oil. We don't need to make it such that by the time we are done preparing our stews, there's such a great layer of oil on the surface. Sometimes even the choice of protein we put into our stews, we are frying them and we are putting them into a stew that is also oil-based.
So is there a specific diet routine that women who have delivered should take in order for them to lose the weight?
So it's advisable to have your breakfast, have your lunch and your supper. And because you are breastfeeding, you need a little bit more. So what we advise is for you to have healthy snacks in between your meals. So for instance, you can decide to be taking fruits in between your meals. You can decide to take soups, but don't go in for the oily or fat-based ones. So for instance, you can have your light soup and add some vegetables. Some people would cut in carrots, some people would cut in okra, garden eggs. So those will make it more filling for you. So it's able to sustain you, because one thing about breastfeeding is that you need to be well hydrated. You need to take in a lot of water.
Okay.
We always encourage a lot of fluids, but people would rather translate it into taking a lot of juices. And juices will come in with extra calories. So you would wonder why you are gaining so much weight, and yet you're
not eating anything.
Exactly. You assess and you feel this is nothing.
Okay.
But those are little ways we end up putting in more energy than the body requires.